All right, guys. Last market update was on the 22nd, I think. So I was looking at this candlestick here. I did think that we might go sideways a little bit because a lot of the indices had hit previous resistance and then they broke out. So now it became support. So I thought we might go sideways a little bit, which we did. And then obviously that Friday, Jackson Hole Powell speech just acted as a catalyst for what I thought was the eventual move down. So I thought we might go down. That's what this little yellow circle is for. I think I've got it on most of the charts with the major markets. So nothing has changed in the thesis. In fact, he didn't really say anything groundbreaking. He just reiterated that he was committed to the fight of inflation, which has been, the general message for a while now. So I think the market was just looking for a catalyst to eventually go down. Some people probably thought we might break out here, but, and I said in my last video, I don't see us going back up here, breaking out and then testing the all-time highs. It's just, I can't see it happening. So nothing changes for my thesis. We're going to go lower. Now I'm looking at the SPY and I've already measured that it's a 4% down move to test what I think is going to be the ascending support here. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think in 1 or 2 days we could get there. So early next week. So that's the SPY. NASDAQ very similar. See how much of a percentage move it requires, even less. 3%, let's say. The Dow, I haven't drawn the circle, but we can imagine it'll be in 1 or 2 days. And that would be, 3.5. So averaging about 3.5% move down in the markets. The Russell is a bit more, which is usually the case too. But okay, that's what I think will come next week. I think everything will get impacted. We saw on Friday, everything was red. I usually cover Bitcoin in separate videos, but Bitcoin, same sort of chart pattern, but you can see it's weaker. So I think it's going to go down to, well, I actually thought it might go down to 1900 during Sunday's trading. Looks like we'll just hover, 19,000. We'll just hover at 20,000. But I think early Monday, as futures open and probably go red, we might test 19,000-ish. I don't want to cover Bitcoin too much here, but I just feel Bitcoin might lead the way down, or at least be the first asset to make new lows. Actually, just zoom out quickly. So 19,000, then 17,500, and then I think maybe even eventually 13, 14,000. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. It's starting to move now. It was sort of choppy going sideways, not breaking out. Didn't act as strong as any of the other markets, really. It was just fading at 25,000. And so it doesn't surprise me that it's come down. But yeah, so the general markets, including the crypto world, trending lower. Friday was a massive, I thought we needed one of these candles, 4% NASDAQ down just to wake everyone up, fresh water. So yeah, I don't think anything changes. We go down lower to the ascending at least. Who knows? We could even go lower, let's see the SPY. Who knows? But anyway, at least down 4%-ish, 3.5%, 4% early next week is what I think. We look at the yields. The 2-year is still leading the way. Look at that. We break out of that, and then it's just like go to the weekly. Maybe it's more obvious. Yeah, 5% next. That's a huge move. So let's look at the 10-year. Probably test its old highs of 3.45 or something, 3.5. That'll be really big, actually. How much of a move is that? And they all look similar to the DXY, the dollar. That's quite a move, but actually that could be done quite quickly, 2 or 3 days. So looking forward to next week. I think we continue with the yields going up and then all the assets going down. This was a 30-year, same sort of thing. So test new highs. And then we've really got a reason to see new lows in the market. So it could happen quite quickly. Let's look at gold. Actually, let's look at the dollar just before we do that. As we can see, it's very strong. Still got its ascending support. Tested the double top. And now it's a little bit of a, what do they call it? The handle, the cup and handle. So this might be the handle forming. And you could see it closed at the high of day on Friday. I mean, so the weekly candle must be beautiful. It's better than the last weekly test. So yeah, dollar just doesn't need much to just go test new highs, probably straight away on Monday. And then 110, the psychological number. And to be honest, no one really sees much resistance until 120. There's not much resistance. So, I mean, it's not going to go up quickly in one go, but 10% move, I already measured it. That, you know, that could happen quite quickly. So dollar up, yields up, markets down, other assets related to the market, like crypto down. Let's look at gold. Gold predictably goes down when the dollar goes up and the market goes down. So it had a nice bounce, but now we're testing the lows. And I mean, you can see what comes next. If the dollar breaks out to new highs, like it goes to 110, you can see this taking out 1730, 1720, and then it's just yeah, 1700, maybe just a bit above 1700. How much of a move is that in here? Yeah, 1.5%. That can be done in one day. Silver is weaker than gold, which is also kind of the norm. And that could go to new sort of medium-term lows, 4%. That could be done next week too. So if gold goes down 1.5%, you could at least expect this 18.5. Yeah, and then very quickly down here, and who knows, we could get silver, because silver doesn't have that much support. We take out 1800 very quickly. Okay, we go 17, sorry, $18, we go to 17, and then we'll see. I mean, I remember March 2020, that was just ridiculous silver. I remember freaking out here. I thought, no way is it going to take out these lows. And it did. Obviously, that was forced liquidation, just total capitulation. Institutions wiped out. Now, I did buy miners down here, but I remember being pretty terrified. So who knows? Something like that could happen again. But first, first we have to take out the recent lows of $18, which could be done next week. And then I think we'll find some pretty strong support here at 17. And then after that, well, anyway, we'll see about that. But silver was weak, and the weekly candle is probably looking pretty horrible. So yeah, gold and silver weak, and probably one of the first assets after crypto to test new lows, let's say. So obviously, I'm very bullish on this asset class and on the miners, but I did sort of foresee this possibility, so I took measures. I lightened up a lot on this bounce. I was really worried that I'd sold a bit too much, but now I'm feeling very good about myself. So let's look at the miners, because this is what I'm mainly in. Looks like the silver chart really very, very weak, testing their lows. I mean, if you think of the S&P and the NASDAQ, they're almost 20% or something off their lows. And look, we're basically there. They just make this a bit cleaner. We're basically there. I mean, 1.5% is nothing. GDXJ is stronger, something we realized also in prior videos, but nothing, it wouldn't take much to go back down. Okay, 6% is quite decent. But anyway, that will take 2 or 3 days, 2 days. So early next week, if we have a continuation of the trend, the recent trend, dollar up, yields up, markets down, we'll test our lows here. And silver would also probably be testing its lows at the same time. So it'll be very volatile. I expect lots of volume. I might buy into it just for a little bounce, a 5% bounce. But that's really just a hit and run. I still think we'll just go lower. 26 on GDXJ. Who knows? We could test this maybe just a bit above the March 2020 low. I remember there was a day where it was like minus 30%. Just I couldn't believe what I was watching. That's when silver hit its absolute low. But look at that rebound. So yeah, I would probably be selling if we get probably be buying, nibbling in if we get to these levels, 26 and then just above 20. Look at this support here. This is not the best line, but you could see generally probably $21 just above. That's a great buying zone. That's a generational opportunity to buy there, I think. So I'm hoping that it goes lower. But the thing is, the market has a long way down to go. So the GDX and GDXJ could easily get there. I mean, look, we're still up there. How much of a percent to go just to test the old lows? 10%. If the SPY goes down 10%, the GDXJ and GDX will go down more than 6%. So they will definitely be testing new lows by then. And who knows if the SPY gets down to 10%, if it tests its old lows, it's to go lower. So I'm going to be cautious buying GDX and GDXJ. I'm just going to be nibbling in very slowly. Let's look at the specific miners in the portfolio. So Newmont was forced down heavy. They were all down heavy, obviously with the sector down. Now Newmont probably wants to be quite strong around here because it's on decent support. But you know, the GDX and GDXJs are going down and gold's going to new lows. This is just forced lower. So where's next support for Newmont? If it takes out its sort of 42.50 zone, well, 40 would probably be a little pit stop psychological number. Then maybe 36-ish. Well, that's a ways away. That's well, 40 is 6%. So maybe they'll all be testing 6% lower next week. Minus Agnico Eagle, nowhere near its lows. So that was strong, had good news back down here, hence the nice bounce. But yeah, 10%, that's got a way to go. Wheaton closed very ugly, could go lower. I hope it goes lower. I want to add to this. Great company. Pan American Silver, very weak, already went to new lows. A sign of things to come. Might be one of the first stocks to actually test its March lows. Probably pit stop around 14 first. MAG, a bit like Agnico Eagle, nowhere near its old lows. 20% is quite a lot actually, so it might resist testing its lows before something else happens and the markets turn. But this is a good company to add to, so I actually want it to go lower. Goldfields, kind of just been chopping sideways but going lower. I feel like it will probably go to 8 quite quickly. So another one with 6% until its next support. That's a good company I want to add to. You can see it broke out massively. So, and then the market forced it down. So it probably really wants to go back up. It's a great one to buy, I think. First Majestic. I was testing where it would, how far down it have to go for its next major support. But again, it hasn't taken out its old lows. So that's probably the first stop. 15% quite good. These are my more speculative silver stocks, which I lightened up on quite a lot. I'm quite happy, but I'd love to buy these at their lows. These will really turn. You can make a lot of money on these four. These are my favorite, like pocket rockets, if you will. So Fortuna did actually close pretty bad. So near its old low, wouldn't take much. These are big moves. It looks small, but these are big moves here. So to test its old support of, let's say $2, 15%, and then its March low, almost 40. I'm quite lightened up on these, but I could easily double my position if it gets around there. Definitely here. EXK. This has been acting quite strong, I felt, during the crash, but yeah, this could test its lows easily next week. 7%. A lot of them just have 6 or 7% until their lows. So, I mean, look at these. They're all just totally destroyed, and they're good companies. I mean, I know they have some bad news in there here and that now and then, but otherwise they have great potential for a bounce, an easy 100% bounce. I mean, had we broken out of this downtrend, which was very likely, I mean, look at that, just to get to the old high of 550, that's 70%. And from its low, 100. So if it just goes down just to test its old low, so 250 from there straight away, obviously 250 times 2 is $5, so more than 100% move. Incredible potential to make money in these four. So I've lightened up on them, and I would love to go in hard, but you need to catch that bounce. Very hard to catch a falling knife too. But I mean, here, if they're not going bankrupt, you can be sure it's a pretty damn good buy. You buy it at 2, you buy it at 160, there's no difference. So I'm looking forward to these flushing even more. Gran Colombia, the weekly chart is a bit, the daily chart zoomed out is a bit deceptive. Good company, had a merger, I think, wanted to go up even more, market forced it down, closed pretty bad on Friday. Another one that could easily test its old lows very early next week. Look at that, 3%. That's just one day away. And then straight away to its March 2020 lows. Incredible. Incredible buy zone, I think. Look at that, 12% at low twos, 220. You buy that and you just look away from the screen for 6 months. Trillium got destroyed on some bad news. Ended very low, but actually green. I'm not sure what to do with this one. I'm just going to hold what I've got because the chart, there's no sort of chart going to lower price levels. So I don't know how to trade it based on historical data. I'm just going to hold what I've got. I won't add, I won't sell anything. I mean, unless it pops a massive 20, 30%, then I'll trim some. Termalina, it's got not much to go for new lows. So I'm just going to hold that. Fortitude, very strong one I have. I think it's 8% dividends. Great earnings, wanted to go up. Market forces it back down. I want to buy this around 6 or 601 or even 590, 102. Just add a little bit. And then if it flushes, I'll wait for next support around 5. I'll keep adding to this. I like this one. Reina, another sort of junior that's at its lows. Actually, no, it's not at its lows. It held a bit above 15% from its lows. If it goes and tests its lows, I might buy in, depending on the general market. Otherwise, I'll hold what I've got because there's no prior data. So I'm just chilling with these speculative ones. I'm not adding much at all. It's just if I see a sort of, like this one, 15% until next support, I might add if I feel like the sector's going to bounce. I like to sort of, add if it curls, goes back up 10%, trim, just make a few $100 on this. Makes a big difference when you compound it. So those are my minors. I'm not going to go into my other stocks in this video, but just to recap, I feel like the market will continue lower, the dollar will go up, the yields will go up, miners, gold, silver will go down, they will test their lows. Some of them will get breached, like silver, and like some of the mining stocks. Some of them will test the lows, others will breach to new lows and just get out the way because that's just the start of the week, I think. So if I'm adding, it's very light. Otherwise, I'm holding what I have, and I'm sort of hoping for a test of March 2020 lows because what an opportunity. And if it keeps going low, to be honest, if the thesis is still correct, if you still believe in the commodity sector, the cycle, gold, silver, then it's funny how when things are on sale, you don't want to buy in the stock market, but I'll be buying. I've got quite a lot of sidelines, and that's what this whole move that I predicted was for. It was to add on new lows. So try and check the emotions at the door and just act a bit robotically. Just buy at the trend levels, but never too much in one stock, never too much in one go, etc., etc. But yeah, that's my recap. Hope that's of value to you. Please comment actually if there's something you do like or don't like or want to see that I haven't done yet. But otherwise, yes, enjoy.